I talked about powerful abilities, ways of keeping them in balance, drawbacks and limitations, and their overall impact on the story, the characters, and the world around them. What I haven't truly delved into were their origins, the ways of obtaining such power, such abilities, supernatural, or even those considered somewhat normal by mere mortals. Usually in stories, it's some special talent given at birth or by some special circumstances, by fate or destiny, and honestly, fate and destiny giving the protagonist tools that he needs to finish the story properly is something that I really don't want anywhere near my stories, and not just concerning powers, but also fated enemies, fated relationships, certain legacies, and so on, or luck. Luck being the thing that I mind the least, unless it spills over into the territory of contrivances. All of these, to some extent, are things that I don't want to use. I much prefer effort over talent if we are talking about something that gives the protagonist an edge in some confrontations or any other situations really, although I should specify that the effort should be consistent and visible, not just shoehorned in to play pretend. I also prefer conscious choice over the illusion of choice that, in my opinion, fates and prophecies give, and honestly, I don't want to see any of this in my villains or side characters stories either. Then there is the talentless protagonist overcomes the gifted opponents with sheer effort. That one has been done to the death and beyond, and is also not something that I would like to do myself. In the end, I'm going to repeat something that I've already said multiple times because I just think that it's quite important for the future of my storytelling, and that's that I want to give all the characters similar starting line and similar opportunities balanced out by having to face the exact same consequences regardless of, well, anything. I don't want a special protagonist, the chosen one, the child of fate or prophecy. I want a character that makes the choices that eventually lead to a certain conclusion, be it good or bad. This again is something that I will return to when I'm focusing on the world building aspect. And it's also something that will definitely be very difficult to achieve with my current skills and abilities to write, with my experience or inexperience in this case. And yet, I don't want to give up on any of these aspects because then the results would be unsatisfactory considering my special read stupid requirements. Nevertheless, that's it for the intro, and now more adventures of the Rapid Arrows Club. Last time they punished the wicked and managed to restore a once disbanded club, and this time a boy is spying on an apartment of an old hag in Czech called Jeremiáška, which to English would be translated as something like Jeremiah, but feminized version of that name. I'll just call her Hag. And she seems to be concocting some magical potions, and when the young boy sees it, he notifies Indra who then presents the notion to the club to go and investigate what's really going on behind the closed doors of the witch's lair. During the meeting, everyone agrees, and the club sets out during the evening to try and find some evidence of foul behavior. In the yard of the house where the hag lives, good old Bubbles smells something that interests him and starts digging and unearths a carcass of a dog completely bloodless, forcing the boy to shout that the old hag is a werewolf. Mirek calms the situation down and orders everyone to avoid the corpse, and they resume the investigation, this time on a balcony facing the window of the hag. But they can only make out a silhouette. They can't hear what she's saying, making it clear that they'll have to get closer. And it's Speedy who's sent up the stairs to scout the way for everyone else if there is no danger. He is mildly unhappy with that, rebelling that he's already earned the badge of courage, but still reluctantly moves forward. His advance is immediately stopped by two blinking lights that he sees in the darkness leading towards the hag's apartment, which send him flying back down the stairs, panicking and saying that there's a powerful spell blocking the hallway, and warns everyone to stay far away. When the dust settles, it turns out that the green will-o-wisps were the eyes of two cats curiously eyeing the intruders. So with the charm dispelled, the club members and the boy can move on, with Bubbles really invested in the smell that's coming from behind the old witch's doors. Leaning in, they find out that she is concocting some sort of a potion, boiling a dog's heart in its own blood, which sets the boy that initially reported the situation fleeing for his life, blaming it on a potato stew that's waiting for him at his home, and that it might turn cold unless he hurries up. All that to the amusement of the redcap, who then immediately proceeds to call him out and tell him that he's bringing shame to his family. In an obvious jest, the boy on his way out meets a suspicious man who asks him if the old hag is at home, while the club members hear the sounds of someone going up the stairs. It sends Speedy into disarray, even reminding him that he's still missing some homework for tomorrow, while lamenting that everything's lost. They hide and are witnesses to the meeting of the man with the old hag, and they realize what's really going on, that the self-proclaimed witch has been concocting potions for superstitious thieves. The one she just finished today was supposedly something that protects the unjust from the law and order of the humans, and the recipes she's been using are all recorded in a book that they want to get rid of. So they prepare a plan to disguise as adults and go to her to receive some of her tarot readings. They go to Yarka's uncle, who's a hairdresser, get it all done, and on their way up, they are deciding their roles. Speedy will have his fate read, and Mirek warns everyone to not even dare to laugh, to even snicker. So then Speedy orders the reading, and Mirek tries to ask if he could browse her book while the reading is ongoing, but she firmly denies that and starts spouting nonsense to Speedy about a rich wife waiting for him somewhere, and a secret love that he has hidden somewhere deep within his heart, that sends Indra into a bout of laughter, which in turn reveals their disguise. the old hag throws them out and curses them with misfortune, and that even after her death, her ghost will still remain haunting them. The word of this supposed curse quickly spreads around the streets, and a few days later, news of the old hag passing reached the Rapid Arrows and also the Brotherhood of the Cat's Paw, and they have a plan to send Longpole to reclaim the spellbook and use the Dark Tome to bring defeat on their long-term enemies if Longpole manages to actually somehow obtain it from the old witch's lair. That's where I'm going to stop for today. The intro was something that I really wanted to talk about, something that I find very important, and well, in the next one, I'll have more of both protagonists talk and the Rapid Arrows adventures.